Hear me out, guys. That's right. You may have been wondering why the UFC invested so much in Meta. This is who he's going to face.
Because it's going to be bad.
Bro, just
it's going to be bad. Man.
The judges are ready. The fighters are ready. The world is ready. You too, make some noise if you are ready for Combat Robot.
Assalamu alaikum, my brothers. Today, we will be matchmaking potential fights after UFC 329. This card was pretty good, but disappointing main event, as we all know. Without further ado, let's just get right into it. Max Holloway. This guy beat the UFC cover curse. Check out that video. You could say that the curse came from the fact that he had a fight against Conor McGregor and he didn't even get to avenge that loss. It technically was not a real win. All that training for nothing. I mean, there's no trajectory for him. It's not really a legitimate win. I mean, the welterweight move, he didn't have to cut weight, but it's kind of pointless. You know, he doesn't get a real win to push him into the actual rankings of welterweight. I mean, what do we do from this point? McGregor versus Holloway 3, that would hold him back. McGregor is going to be gone for another year. He's going to have to move down to lightweight and fight down in the rankings. That's the only way that he can maintain his current position if he keeps fighting in welterweight. These opponents are tougher. They're more wrestling focused. I mean, look at Sean Brady. Look at Bilal Muhammad, Shavkat Rakhmonov, even Ian Gary. This is not the division for him to stay. They did this for Conor McGregor because they knew he was not going to be able to cut weight. You know, he's in a real tricky spot. I say he should move down to lightweight, and this is who we should give him. Mauricio Rufy. This would be a great fight. Striking masterclass. We know what would happen here. There's no real threat for Max Holloway in the wrestling in this fight. Rufy's going to keep it standing. Can he outstrike Max Holloway? I think this is actually a winnable fight for Max Holloway here. It is a fight down in the rankings. He may have wanted to fight up after fighting McGregor, but there's nothing you can really do. He can't fight Charles Oliveira. He just fought him. He's not going to fight Arman Tsarukyan. That is a bad matchup for him. So I think this is the best fight to make. It's a lot better than waiting for Conor McGregor to return. We're not going to have Max sit out for years like Chandler did. I think he should fight as soon as possible. There's no injuries from this fight. He could fight next week. Conor McGregor, very disappointing the way he lost. This might have tanked the entire card. We talked about this. We knew this was too good to be true. This fight was doomed from the start. There was no way Conor McGregor was going to come back as his old self with a mohawk. The prime McGregor is dead. If we look at the old version of McGregor, he tore his ACL against Max in their first fight, and somehow he still found a way to win. There's no way we can get that McGregor back, except for if we do one thing. Hear me out, guys. That's right, he needs to go back under the knife and return as T1000. This is real, guys. If you don't think that the UFC doesn't have a budget for this, you're surely mistaken. They will do anything to get Prime McGregor back, and this will be the way to do it. With Meta Cybernetics. You may have been wondering why the UFC invested so much in Meta. This is why. Because Meta will be funding this futuristic initiative using AI and cybernetics to turn one of their fighters, their prized possession, into the McGregor-nator. It's going to happen, guys. Trust me. He loves kicking. Even if it's going to lead to him tearing his legs, breaking his legs. He's had many leg injuries. There's only one way to fix this. We replace his entire lower half. He will return. He'll be different. He's not going to face Max Holloway. This is who he's going to face.
Because it's going to be bad.
Bro, just
it's going to be bad. Man.
We get Poirier out of retirement. This version of Poirier, he's the hungriest he's ever been. He's out, but he wants to go back in. He misses fighting. He misses the thrill. He misses the heat of battle. These guys both have a desire to fight. They still have an unresolved beef, and this fight will sell arenas. Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier 4. This is pure cinema, folks. We got nothing to lose here either. These guys are both coming out of retirement, so it's not like one of them has to wait for the other. These guys have time on their hands. They have nothing to lose. If something like what happened with Max happens, it's fine because they're both just going to go back into retirement. This fight would make bank for the UFC. Dustin Poirier, we've heard him talk about a potential return, and I was there in his interview with Laura Sanko when he was asked what fight would make him return, and what did he say? None other than Conor McGregor. and that's who I think he should fight next. Let's get this guy out of retirement. This is going to be a great fight for the UFC. But yeah, on to the next one. Paddy the Baddy. This guy made history. The first to ever submit Benoit Saint-Denis in what was the most glorious submission. The flexibility of Paddy. Not much to say. I mean, he did it in great fashion. This is vintage Paddy Pimblett. And Paddy is back. Now we truly know how good Justin Gaethje was, so we can't fault Paddy for losing. We can give him a real test. And the real test is Charles Oliveira. BMF title bout. This would be a great fight. We just saw Paddy Pimblett submit Benoit Saint-Denis in the most amazing fashion. Let's face him off against someone that can do the same. The guy with the most submissions in the UFC. Benoit Saint-Denis was his best win. Can he get a better win? Can he beat Charles Oliveira? And this fight would be for the books. No questions about this. This is definitely the fight to make. On to the next one. Benoit Saint-Denis. I mean, what is he even doing? That was the dumbest thing he could have done. I don't know why he shot on Paddy Pimblett like that. Thought he'd at least have a couple striking exchanges with him. I mean, this guy's a marauder on the feet. He was on a 4-fight finishing streak, and Paddy just ended it just like that. I think this is what you should do for BSD. Mateusz Gamrot. This guy's a wrestler. You know that Benoit Saint-Denis and Gamrot are both going to shoot. Gamrot shot against Charles Oliveira. Can Benoit Saint-Denis come back against a wrestler after this submission loss? We'll have to see. On to the next one. Oh my goodness. Mario Bautista. This guy. How does he keep doing it? Makes it to decision again. Avenges his loss against Corey Sandhagen. This is what you do. I already said this before. I think you give him Zahabi, both kind of decision merchants. This fight is definitely going the distance, guys. Both have recent losses. I do not need to see Mario Bautista getting a title shot, guys. I think he still needs a few good wins before he gets a title shot. We give him Ayman Zahabi. We'll see what happens with that. Corey Sandhagen. Was hoping this guy would win. First round, Corey was winning. He hurt his knee. He just wasn't the same after that. He tried to keep up, but he just didn't have the same movements. He just was not the same Corey Sandhagen. But, you know, he made it to decision. Fortunately lost. I think this is the next fight to make for him. David Martinez, KO artist on the come up, 10-fight win streak. Can Corey Sandhagen cut that short? Because unfortunately he's not getting a title shot anytime soon. Corey Sandhagen, maybe he can out-grapple David Martinez. Maybe he can get some type of submission, but we'll have to see. On to the next one. Royval, he showed us he still got it. I doubted him. The odds makers doubted him. But he did it. The underrated grappling of Royval. This is what we got to do for Royval. Make way for Asu Almabayev. Royval is now the gatekeeper of 125. So we're going to have to see, can Asu make it to title contendership? Can he get to the top 5? If Royval gets this win, this is a great fight for him. You know, we know that for a fact that he still has it if he beats Asu Almabayev. But if Asu does it, we know this guy is just something different. Potentially get a title shot in the future. We need some new faces in flyweight. And we are getting them, but with gatekeepers like Royval, we might be limited. Lonnie Kavanagh. This guy's train has been derailed. If you lose to Royval, you are not touching the belt anytime soon. We saw what he did to Brandon Moreno. Hasn't come close since. Kavanagh just was not able to do it. He had it tied until the last round when he just got taken down, overwhelmed, and eventually submitted. This is who I think he should fight next. I think you give him Kyoji Horiguchi. I think Horiguchi, this is a good test for his grappling. We saw what Horiguchi did against Manel Kape. We know how good he is. He almost won that fight by pure grappling domination, but he was KO'd. Can Kavanagh do the same? And these guys are both coming off of losses. I think this would be a good bounce-back fight for either of them, whoever wins. Good fight for Kavanagh, winnable. This guy's young, almost in his peak. I think, it's kind of like a vet versus a youngster type situation. Bobby Green. We can start calling him King now because he did it. Unk did it. He got a buzzer beater. Made all the old heads proud. You know the old heads at the bar watching. You know they were all nodding their heads. They were all proud. Young blood. The grit, the determination, the heart of this guy. He almost lost that fight. He almost got submitted on numerous occasions. He did not give up. He was yelling at McKinney while his back was taken. I mean, this is very reminiscent of Volkanovski doing the same to Islam Makhachev. We have a Volkanovski at 155. This is what I think we should do. We give him Michael Chandler. Now, at first, I was thinking we give Michael Chandler to Terrance McKinney. After the results of this fight, I think we give Bobby Green this matchup instead. There's no way this fight is making it past the first round. One of these guys will be on the floor, knocked out, cold, and I think it's going to be Michael Chandler again. I'm sorry, Mike, but we just gotta feed you to these guys. Maybe Bobby Green can make it back into the rankings somehow. Maybe this will be his ride to the top. This will be the most entertaining fight of the year. It's either going to be a bloodbath, if it lasts past the first round, which I highly doubt it will. If it doesn't, this knockout will be insane. I mean, Bobby Green, this guy, he fights like he does not care if he gets knocked out. Same with Michael Chandler, but Bobby Green, the way he was dodging McKinney's shots with his hands down, wildly moving his head like a bobblehead. This guy would be a perfect opponent for Michael Chandler, the guy who rushes forward, puts himself in danger. I mean, these guys both don't care about what happens to them. It's like pointing two nuclear missiles at each other and just blasting. I would love to see this fight. This is going to be a good one. Terrance McKinney somehow lost this fight, even though he was winning. The round was ending. I mean, it was an early stoppage, but this guy's going right back to the prelims. This is why I don't pick him, because this guy is so unpredictable. When you win, when you think he's winning, he loses. When you think he's losing, he wins. Very unpredictable, but he's a talented fighter. This is what we got to do. We feed him to another unk in Michael Johnson. McKinney is a winnable fight for Johnson. This guy's young. This guy has spirit. Johnson will rob him of that. Johnson is an unk. He doesn't play. Look at them in their pictures here. Terrance McKinney smiling like he has a future ahead of him. Michael Johnson has that stone cold look. Someone who knows they're past their prime and have nothing else to lose. Fight just radiates unpredictability and chaos. You gotta make this fight. Johnson beat a young up-and-comer in Zellhuber, and can he do it again? Can he steal his life force and remain in the UFC? We'll have to see. Robert Whittaker, people doubted him, but I'm here to say that I did not. He did well in his light heavyweight debut. You could tell he was slower than usual. He was a little sluggish, but he recovered. He still won. He still did it. He still has the power. This is what I think we should give him. I think he should get Volkan Ozdemir. This guy is the guy to give to people coming into light heavyweight. This is a proper light heavyweight introduction for Robert Whittaker. This is a real test, though. This isn't an easy fight. Someone he can easily chin. This guy is a tough matchup, and I want to give this guy to Robert Whittaker because I think this will give him an opportunity to get to a higher level and to really show us that he's still got it. You know, get into the upper echelon. Maybe you fight a Mirzakhanov in the future. Maybe get a rematch with Paulo Costa in light heavyweight. A Yuri Prohaska. You know, something real good for him. But in order to do so, he has to beat Volkan Ozdemir. He has to get past that level. Nikita Krylov should not be smiling in this photo because in every fight he gets chinned, and he got chinned again, this time by the slowest version of Robert Whittaker. This should have been a winnable fight for him. He won the first round. He was taking him to the ground. He was using his size as an advantage, but at some point he rushes forward, trudges forward with his chin forward, hands down. What do we do with Nikita Krylov? We gotta feed him to the newcomers, the up-and-comers. Navajo Sterling, undefeated, 10-0. This guy's coming off a 2-fight KO streak, and he's coming to the rankings. Just beat Ion Cutelaba. We know what's going to happen. Just let it play out. The debut of Gable Steveson. We knew this would happen. This guy was one of the biggest favorites in UFC history. This is what we got to do for this guy. We feed him to the wolves. We give him Shamil Gaziev. This guy thought he was going to get an easy rise to the top. No. This guy's from Russia. He's from Dagestan. Grapples in the morning. Eats burgers at night. This guy will dismantle Gable. And I got Gaziev by Hurricane Kick KO in round 1. I mean, this guy's striking is not that good. Gaziev's not just going to let this guy beat him. This is going to be the end of Gable Steveson. Cody, no love Garbrant. It's sad. Another KO. Lost. This is what we were expecting. This is what we got to do. Gotta hang up his gloves. He removed his gloves after the fight, so we all assumed he was going to retire. No interview from John Anik, so he did not proclaim his retirement. Kept his glove, but it seemed like he knew it was over. So I think the best thing to do with this guy is move on into the sunset, retire gracefully, just maybe hope that he'll end up in the UFC Hall of Fame. Luke Riley, another KO for Luke Riley. This is who we gotta feed this guy. This guy's hungry. This guy wants KOs. This guy wants stardom. This guy wants to go to the top. This is who we give him. Dan Ige. This guy's an established fighter. This guy gives him name value, and if he beats Dan Ige, this is a good win on his resume. We're giving him a hard KO, hard hitter. This guy took Diego Lopez to decision, short notice, coming off the couch. So if we see Luke Riley knock this guy out, we know we got a legend in Luke Riley. This will really answer the question, do Scousers really not get knocked out? Last fight to make, Wang Cong. She coasted to a decision. We knew she would coast to a decision. We knew what she'd do. This is who we think she should fight. Rose Namajunas. Can she do the same against Rose? She beat Tracy Cortez. Now can she beat Rose to get on the rankings? This would push her up into the rankings. This would potentially lead her to get a title fight. And I think this is the best fight for her. She did shout out Valentina Shevchenko, but I don't think we give her a title fight just yet. But yeah, card as a whole was pretty good. Main event, disappointment. Prediction-wise, we did pretty well. But yeah, those were the fights to make. Let us know what kind of fights that you'd want to make after this event. I'll see you guys later.